Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to our Grade 5 coding. Today, 8 July. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Mike Geldenhuys. Everybody just calls me Mr. G or Sir. Today, we are going to go back to our creating art with code. So we're going to do the second part of that lesson. Yesterday, we took a quick break from that just to focus on some puzzles with loops and how to implement loops into our code. So today we can actually carry on with our creating art with code. And I have to say, I actually received only one puzzle where somebody created something special for me. Okay, and I actually want to encourage you guys at the end of today's lesson. I'm going to share the first puzzle of this lesson with you guys again, because it's a nice exercise to just practice creating some patterns and shapes to see what you can come up with. Okay, and I hope everybody has had a great day so far. Then what we will do is we will go right into it. And then, like I mentioned yesterday as well, I want to focus on other aspects that's not in the, well, it's part of the coding, but we will do it on the slideshow. And I want you guys to really pay attention when I show that to you, because I've seen in our lessons that there's some confusion when it comes to these two topics. And we're going to spend some time on just clarifying exactly how they work. But I'm going to mention them to you once we get to them. Okay, so our aim for today is then to create a program to complete an image using sequential steps, to break complex shapes into simple parts. And then here are the 2 points that I want to focus on today. It is understanding degrees and directions. Okay, and but I'll take you through those step by step. Firstly, let's see quickly, coding. I'm going to give you guys a moment just to type for me in the chat box. Who can remember what is coding? Or if you want to talk to me, raise your hand, and then we can quickly run through this, and then maybe you can just quickly tell me what is coding? What is coding? This is something we run through every day, so I'm sure you all know what it is. I want to see if somebody can give me a nice, short, quick answer of what is coding. We are typing. Okay, yeah, no problem. I'm going to give you guys a moment to type. So guys, what is coding? You don't have to write a long answer. You can just give me a quick, short answer of what is coding. There we compute. Khotso said computer skills. Yes, that is part of what coding is. It's computer skills. I want something a little more specific. There we go. Naledi said it is a language. It is a computer language. It's how we talk. That's the word I was looking for, language. And then Neo said coding is a program that involves algorithms for a computer. Wow, beautiful, guys. I see you guys pay attention. Yes, coding or programming is the process of creating instructions. And like Naledi said, it is a language we use. Lesedi said it's a sequence or program for the computer to respond to. Beautiful, guys. Those answers are great. I love it. Yes, it's just how we communicate with our computer by creating programs for it to follow. Okay, sequencing. I see Lesedi used the word sequence in her description. So quickly, guys, tell me, what is sequencing? What is sequencing? Malik, let's see, Malik raised her hand. I'm going to unmute her. Yes, Malik, what is sequencing?
Sir, I can't hear you properly, so just I put it a little bit loud.
A little bit louder. Okay, I'll
Yes,
do
because
that.
I can't
Maybe.
hear you, sir.
Okay, sure, not a problem. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Malik. Okay, guys. Yes, I saw Neo, a sequence is a specific instruction, a sequence or program. Okay, yes, guys. Sequencing is putting things in a specific or particular order. Okay, remember our line of instructions. That's what Lesedi says. Beautiful, guys. I love it. And remember our code that we wrote, and unfortunately, we got stuck in a little loop. It's because our commands weren't in a particular order, so all our code did was run around in circles. So if we want to complete a code, there needs to be a specific and particular order for things to happen in. Well done. Okay, guys, and then this is the spot where I want us to stand still a little bit and focus on this. Now, in some of our puzzles, they only give us the option of moving forward and turning left or right. When we have the option of working with degrees, we can really turn into any direction. And I know we've done this a little bit on Monday, but I'm going to show you now. I've put some slides where I explain it nicely for us to understand exactly what is going on. Okay, so if we want just to make a full circle and face the exact same way, let me just get my little pen ready here. Give me a moment just to select that. There we go. There's my pen. Okay. Now I could, if we're standing over here, if we look on the screen, there's my line, and we just want to, and we are facing in that direction, and we just want to turn all the way around and face in the exact same direction. We will do a 360 turn. Otherwise, if we just turn and we want to go in the other direction, we can do 180. If we just want to go. Now, here is where I'm going to explain to you guys about directions and about, now in this instance, if I am standing here with my 90 degree over there, and I want to turn left, yes, I will just do a 90-degree turn to the left. Okay, so let's quickly look at an example. So here we have our artist, and we tell him to move forward and draw a line, and then he will just draw a line for us. Now, guys, if I tell you our artist should turn in a specific direction or an amount of degrees, we can use a compass like you use in math, okay? And you can think of putting it down and looking at the numbers. Now we see we are moving in this direction, and we are starting at 0. So if I tell you to turn 30 degrees, we will find 30 on our compass over there, and then we will turn 30 and then draw a line. If our artist draws a line, then that's what the line will look like. Okay, that's what the line will look like. The same with, we can do a 60-degree turn, or we can do a 90-degree turn, or we can do but you can decide any kind of turn you want. You can do that. Okay, but now this is where I see some confusion coming in. Okay, and this is where I want you guys to pay close attention. Once we've moved, let's say, for example, our artist, there we go, there he is. He moved forward. We told him to take a 30-degree turn to the left, move forward, and that is now where he is. Now we have to remember in which way our character is facing. Okay, remember our character now, he is walking that way, so he is facing that way. Okay, so our new point or our new base will be this 30-degree line. So if I tell you again to turn, we have to remember that this line or this point where our artist is standing on right now, that will be our new base. So our angle will be measured from that base. And let me put that in for you as an example. There we go. So then we will measure again. You will see here's our 0 because we are facing that way. So now if we are going to turn, we have to check our compass and see going this way how many degrees our artist would have to turn. Okay? And if I tell my artist to turn by 120 degrees, then we can see we'll go all the way to 120, and my artist then will turn left by 120 degrees. Okay, I hope you guys are understanding this so far. But now we have to remember as well, this is a very important point as well. Sometimes I've noticed that we will look at our compass and then let's take 90 degrees because it's right in the middle. Then I see guys mix it up a little bit, that everything on this side of 90 degrees, this way, they say is turn left, and everything on this side, they say is turn right. But we have to be very careful here, because remember, our artist is not facing that way. Our artist, remember, he walked on this 30-degree line down here, and he is still facing that way. So every turn that he is going to make on that line, on this side, will be left. So let me give you an example. There we go. There's our 30-degree line. And we have to remember our artist is moving in that direction. My arrow is showing you guys now in which direction my artist is moving. Okay. Now you have to think of it in your mind like this. If there's a left and there's a right, and that is on the left of that line and the right of that line. Now it is almost like we can put down two compasses like that. Okay, so one will be left, and this entire compass will only be left. So if I say turn left by 30, it will be there. Left by 60, it will be there. Left by 90, he will turn over there. Left by, let's just say 140, it will be there. Or left by 170, he will turn left to any one of those degrees. If I say turn right, he will actually turn the other way. And we will start here. There's, let's say left by right by 30 degrees will be over there. Let's say right by 70 degrees. We look for 70. There we go. And we will start at the 0 point in which direction he will turn. So this is where we have to really take note of what is left, what is right, and by how many degrees our character can turn. I hope everybody understands this so far. So if our artist was standing here and I wanted him to turn right, he actually would have had to come this way. So I hope that helps you guys to figure out a little bit about how to move and how to use degrees. Okay. But we will practice that a little bit once we go back to our code.org. Okay, guys, and now the other point that I wanted to show you guys is understanding directions. And I've seen we've made some mistakes here as well, but this is also then important for us to remember which way our character is moving. Okay, so as for example, I want to turn left. If I just say turn left and you are looking at your screen, then you know, okay, to the left-hand side of my screen. So then you will just think, okay, it's that way. Okay, so that's just an easy left. But now we have to remember our character can actually come from a multiple directions. Okay, I see I've got a hand up here. I'll get back to you guys now. Let me just quickly see. Okay. What I want you guys to remember is our character can come from different directions. So our character can actually come from the left, moving towards the right, or our character can come from the right, moving left. Our character can also be moving up, or our character can be moving down. Any other direction as well, it doesn't matter. Our character can come from any direction if we start working with angles. But I just wanted us to focus on these four aspects. Now remember, if our character, let's say for example, he is standing on this side right now. Let me just move this chat box, it's a bit in my way. Let's say for example, our character is standing right there. He is moving right. And if I tell him to turn left, he is actually going to go up. Okay, because remember, he is moving in this direction. And if I tell him to turn left, he will turn left. Okay. Guys, I will send you guys the link now. I want us just to focus on this because this is where I see we are experiencing some problems. I'm not saying everybody is, but I want to explain this so we can really understand it. And then once we get to our puzzles, we will be able to just get stuck into those. If our character moves from the right to the left, if I tell him to turn left, he will actually go down. The same with if he comes from the bottom and he is moving up. If I tell him to turn left, this is our normal one, he will just turn left. But if he is coming from the top, moving down, left will actually be to the right of our screen. So I hope you guys understand how this is going to work. So that the big thing is just to focus on where is my character coming from and in which direction is he facing. Okay, so think of yourself, your left hand will not be on the same side of the room if you turn around. So think of yourself standing in the middle of the room and look to your left. Maybe there's a bed or a cupboard, but if you close your eyes and you turn around and you put your left hand out again, then maybe it will just be a wall. So it will not be the same side. This is why we have to be careful of when deciding to turn, which way to turn. And then the same with our right turn. We can come from any direction. And then if we come from the left, we remember if we turn right, we will actually go down. If we come from the right and we turn right, we will go up. If we come from the bottom and we turn right, this is the one that we all quite comfortable with, just moving forward and turning right. if our character moves from the top and he is going in a downwards direction, if we turn right, he is going to go to the left-hand side of the screen. So I hope this helps you guys a little bit to understand degrees and directions a little bit better. So then what we're going to do right now is we can go to code.org. So if you guys give me a second, let me just switch my screens. I see. Let me just get there. Sorry, guys. Let me just switch screens. And what's nice about code.org, if I go into it, it will take us to exactly the place where we stopped the last time. So here we go. We were on puzzle number 6 of our programming in Artist. And remember, the first thing we always have to do is to read our instructions. Maybe we should make a tag for each of our pets. Copy. I'm just posting the link for you guys. While I read the instructions, you guys can go through to the puzzle. So maybe we should make a tag for each of our pets in case they get lost. Finish this tag by drawing a rectangle around the outside. The long sides are 200 pixels. And remember, pixels, I wonder who can remember what pixels are. I'm going to ask you guys now to tell me, what are pixels? And the short sides are 100 pixels. So quickly, before we do this puzzle, who can remember what are pixels? What are pixels, guys? Remember, if you are in the link, just tell me here or I'm in so that I know I can move forward. Can anybody remember what pixels are? I hope you guys are getting in. I'm not seeing anybody. Pixels are blocks or dots. Wow, thank you, Lesedi. Yes. Remember we said if you zoom into a picture, then you will start seeing small little squares, little blocks or dots. And now those dots or blocks are what make up the picture. Okay, and those we call pixels. So pixels can be used as a measure of length. So we will tell our artist to move a certain amount of blocks or a certain amount of squares. And then those squares we call pixels. Okay, so now we know that our long side will be 200 pixels and our short sides will be 100 pixels. And I hope you guys are in, because remember yesterday, that is why I took the break from this lesson, is for us to practice our repeat loops. Now, remember also we said that once we get comfortable with it, we'll start seeing a repeated code before we even get there. But sometimes we need to write the code and then only we will pick up the repeated code. So I wanted us to get used to using those repeated loops so that in every puzzle that we go to from now onwards, we can start looking for those repeated patterns and start using our repeat blocks. So the first thing, obviously, we're just going to do is we are going to move forward. And we have to be careful because our set amount or our set measurement is 100 pixels. But we know that our long side is 200 pixels. So we just have to change that to 200 before we press run. I also don't just want my code or my tag to be a gray color. I want to make it nice and beautiful. So I want it fluffy, sounds like a bunny rabbit or something. So let's make it pink. And which way am I going to turn, guys? Once I get to the end of my line, let's run that so you guys can see. There we go. So I want you guys to quickly tell me, which way am I going to turn? Am I going to turn left by 90 degrees or right by 90 degrees? Left by 90 degrees or right? You can just type left or right in the chat box. There we go. Thank you, Connor. Connor is our first one. That's it. We're going to turn Laseri. Well done, guys. Yes, we are going to turn right by 90 degrees. And then we'll just move forward again. Our short side is 100 pixels. We'll turn right again because now we're just moving in a, if we think about it, a nice big circle, because we will finish at the same spot where we started. And we can just complete our code. Move forward, turn right, move forward, turn right. We just have to remember to change the length of our long side to 200. Move forward, and then we should be finished. Okay, now I want to ask you guys, if we look at this code, there is a repeated pattern. What pattern can we actually put in a repeat block? But before we do that, I also want, now, there we go. Okay, now lady wants the code. No problem. I'm going to paste the link for you again. There we go. Let me put it in the everyone chat box so everybody can have the link again, just in case. There we go. So if we look at our code, we see we've got to move forward 200, move forward 100, and then here again, move forward 200, move forward 100. So if we take this code over here and we put it next to our code here, we'll see that there's a pattern and it looks identical. It looks the same, okay, except for the turn 90. The turn 90 we know is not going to affect our code because our character will be standing on the same spot and he will just turn and face in a different direction. So we can actually take all this and put it in a repeat. I'm not going to do that because there's something I want to do to my code that is not going to work if I use a repeat. And that is, I want each side to be a different color. So maybe I want my right-hand side to be, let's change that to purple. I want the bottoms of my tag to be green. Well, let's make it blue. And I want the left-hand side to be orange. It doesn't matter if you put I put it in the wrong spot by mistake now, but it doesn't matter because he's just going to turn before he draws the line. So let's quickly reset and run and see what my tag looks like. Here's my pink line, my purple line, my blue line, and my orange line. And there we go. Okay, let's move to puzzle number 7. Did we carry on? Oh, is mine stuck now? Let's reset. Finish the tag by drawing. Did we finish the tag? Let me run it again. I might have pressed the wrong button here. Okay, there we go. Let's go to puzzle number 7. There we go. Now it moved on. Puzzle number 7. Now, guys, here they try, it's not a trick. It's just that we have to figure out first which way our artist is facing. Because think about it, if he was just facing forward, he would have just drawn a line through Bell. So if we want to test to see which way our artist is facing, if you are not sure, just put a move forward block in your code and see which way he is going to turn. Just see first which way there we go. Our artist is moving in the right direction. So we don't need to turn him anywhere, okay? He is moving in the right direction, so we don't need to turn anywhere before we start our code. Now we also just have to, I see because our line we drew is too short because I didn't read the instructions first, and is now a tag for Bell. Draw this square with 200 pixel sides. Okay, and we know that a square, all sides are the same and all angles are the same. So we actually only have to write 2 lines of code, and then we can put it in a repeat, and we will be able to do this tag pretty easily. Okay, so who is going to type, or who's going to tell me how are we going to finish this tag? I just want to change the color as well because I'm looking at what you guys see, and the black isn't always that visible for everybody to see. So I always just like to change the color so everybody can see exactly what we are doing. Let's make it this tag, quite like the yellow. So let's make this tag yellow. Okay. So guys, who's going to tell me what are we going to do to finish this tag? Let's see, I'm going to give you guys a second or two. Oh, no, not a second, that's too fast. A few seconds just to type for me. What are we going to do to finish this tag, Bell's tag? And remember, I'm going to show you guys while you type for me something. It's always nice to test everything that's on your screen, in your toolbox, whether it's in your play area or under your instructions. Remember, if you can't read nicely or you struggle reading some of the words, there is a play button here and it will actually play it for you. So let me try that quickly. I'm going to put up my sound so we can hear. And it will tell you what is in the instructions block. Okay, so even if you struggle reading some of the words, you can play that and it will tell you. Remember, we have our tips area over here, the little light bulb. If I click on that, it will ask me, do you want a hint? Okay, remember, if you get stuck and you don't have somebody to help you, you can get a hint over there. You can say yes or no. For example, let's click yes. It says the artist is already facing, there we go. And the artist is already facing in the correct way to draw the first line. And we figured that out just by putting a move forward block in our code and testing it. Remember, it's nice to always test your code. You can run it as many times as you want. Now, Lesedi said, move forward 200 pixels. I need to change my pixels to 200. And then says turn left. Turn left. And then 4 times with a repeat block. Okay, yes. And here, just remember, you can have a drop down to test your lines or to test your angles. But yes, we are going to turn 90 degrees because square, all the angles on a square is 90 degrees. And then we will put everything, not the color, doesn't matter, but not the color, in the repeat block. And we change our repeat block to 4 times. And Lesedi, let's run your code. And remember the slider down here. If you want to go really slow, you can change your slider to very slow, or you can change your slider to very fast. And then let's run it. I'm going to run it very fast and see what happens. It's so, there we go. It's so fast, you guys can almost not even see him drawing the line. Or let's try that again, but it will go very slowly this time. Reset, run. Then he will stop at every corner, turn. There we go, and we see all 4 sides. Well done, Lesedi. Thank you very much for your code. Why do I do that? Sorry, guys, I pressed the wrong button. Now I have to run it again. Oh, there we go. Lesson number 8. Now, lesson number 8 is a challenge puzzle. I'm sure we are all ready for the challenge. The only reason why this is a challenge is because we've got some tricky angles. And now this is where we have to think about what we are going to do. Okay? Let me just make our play area a little bit bigger. There we go. And let's read our instructions. Challenge. This tag is a special one. Can you figure out how to draw the outline? The long side is 150 pixels and each of the short sides are 75 pixels. Okay, it looks like our artist is already facing the right direction. So we will just move forward and we have to remember to change our pixels. But even if you don't and you run it, you will see that there's something wrong. Then you can just fix it. Sometimes I forget to change these things in the drop down or in the blocks that we can change. I forget that many times. Now we are going to turn. Now who can tell me, are we going to turn left or are we going to turn right? There we go. Neo said right. Lesedi said right. Yes, guys, we are going to turn right. Now we just have to decide by how many degrees. And I see Neo told us already we're going to turn right. And we're going to change that to 45 degrees. We're going to turn right by 45 degrees. Thank you. Lesedi also said 45. Okay, and then we are going to move forward again. And we have to remember to change our pixels. 75. Now, because we've turned right, if we go round in a circle on only one direction, all our turns we know will be right. So this one is easy. Now we just have to decide by how much are we going to turn. Look at that angle. By how much are we going to turn? Now remember, here it is difficult to see. I'm going to show you, follow my mouse marker. This little dot is facing to the right. But we have to remember now, I'm on the tag now, our artist is moving down this way. So yes, Neo's quite right. He said, because from here to here is a 90-degree angle. So our artist will turn 90 degrees. Move forward again, only 75 pixels because that's a short side. And then he will turn right again, but by how much this time? Because now remember, our artist is standing right here on this corner over here. And then yes, thank you, Neo. He is going to turn 45 degrees right. I hope you guys are understanding this. Oops, I already have one in there. 45 degrees. Now I can see that this code will be a repeat of, or the next part will be a repeat of what we already did, because we can see we've done one long side, two short sides, and now here we've got one long side and two short sides. So we can repeat all this. Be careful, Neo. Remember, this entire code, we can put the entire code in the repeat block. And we only have to repeat it 2 times. Because this code brings us, let's take out the repeat block first. I want to show Neo quickly. If I run it, look to where we go, Neo. We go all the way to that spot over there, okay? So if we want to get there, this code will take us the same distance. Okay, so we only have to repeat this entire code 2 times. Let me put a color in there as well so it looks a little bit nicer. So we can take our repeat block, and we only have to repeat this code, the entire code, 2 times. Let's reset and run. Look at that. There we go. And Waddles has got a new tag. Well done, guys. I love it when you guys interact with me and help me out to solve the code. Okay. We have 2 puzzles left, but I see we only have a few minutes. So I really want you guys to, this puzzle, I'm just going to show it to you, and I'm going to show you the next one as well. I'm going to move straight toward to 10. These 2 you can do by yourself, or the 10 is just a question, so 10 doesn't really matter. 9, I want you guys to write the code for me for this puzzle. And then please send it to me on my email. I'm going to put my email in the chat box quickly so you guys can copy it. I have been receiving some. Thank you very much for those of you that's been sending me your homework. Gelden, HEYS81 @gmail.com. There we go. I've pasted that for you in the, posted that for you in the chat box. Do this puzzle for me, and then I want to go back to puzzle number 2 as well. I'm going to post the link so you can copy the link as well. This is where you can create your own image. I'm going to copy it and I'm going to paste it for you. And my code is in there. Remember, I did, let's run it. I did a nice image only with squares. Let's make this faster because otherwise he's going to be too slow. There we go, run. And I just took squares and I made it different sizes and different colors. And then you can run your code as many times as you want to see what image you can come up with. And I really want you guys to try and see what you can come up with. I received 1 and I'm going to post that. But what I want to ask you guys, when you do your image, change the size to something a little bit smaller, because if it's too big, you will go outside of your play area and then I won't be able to see your entire image. Okay, so work with nice small small amounts so I can see your picture nicely. Okay, let me go to my slides show again. I want to leave you with what Bill Gates said. He said, learning to write programs stretches your mind and help you think better. Creates a way of thinking about things that are helpful in all domains. And we saw that because just in today's code, we did quite a few things that had to do with math, angles, and measurements. So we can see that code touches on a lot of aspects, okay? So I want you guys to enjoy your coding, send it to me. There's my email address again, also the school's email address. So then I'll see you guys again tomorrow. Have a wonderful day, guys. Bye-bye.